You know what we need at a time like this on a Monday morning when there's all kinds of red ink on Wall Street? You need somebody who says, buy the dip. Well, our guest, Keith Fitz, has been saying, buy the dip for the last 10 years, and he's been right. So, Keith Fitz, are you buying today's dip?
I am starting to nibble in, Stuart. I tell you what, I'm looking at this like a Viking would look at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Anybody complaining about high valuations last week has got an opportunity this week.
But you are actually going to do some buying today. You will do that.
Yeah, I'm going to. I mean, obviously, I'm going to take it very seriously. This is a contagion that started in Hong Kong. Lots of people are deleveraging this morning, so I'm not in a rush. But if I'm looking at some of those big names that we talk about all the time, companies that are changing the world, that the business case is still great, odds are pretty good I'm going to be doing that within the hour.
So are you convinced then that it's a dip and not the start of a major correction?
You know, that's a tough call. I mean, Washington's up to its usual hijinks. The Fed's about to make its move. It's too early to make that judgment, in my opinion. But you got to be flexible, you got to be nimble, and you got to have that long-term perspective. So I'm not going to cash in my chips if that's the case.
Is today's downside action just about Evergrande and a possible default, or is there something else going on, another negative that we should really be taking account of?
You know, Stuart, that's a good question. I think the early going was certainly about Evergrande. It's, $300 billion. They've warned twice in the last 2 weeks. I think it's going to be a real test. It's China's Lehman moment, frankly. But, Washington's Beltway hijinks. I mean, I don't know why these guys are allowed to go on recess if they can't do their jobs. I mean, you keep kids off the playground if they don't behave in the classroom. Why should Washington be allowed any different? So I think that there are concerns about a slowdown. There's concerns about the variants. There's concern about the mask. But all those things have been a narrative for weeks. So, again, we got to step back, take a deep breath, look at those big companies. That's where we want to focus today, as tough as that's going to be and as scary as it's going to be.
When you say big companies, are you talking about big tech?
Well, big tech for sure. Pfizer's another one, because one of the keys, right, is if you're at the rule of the back page versus the rule of the front page, if it hits the front page, it's already past news. So what you want to focus on is the stuff that's still on the back channels. And that's where Pfizer, for example, is talking about mandate or vaccines for children. You're talking about medical things that could go to pediatricians. You're talking about what they're going to do with mRNA technology for cancer, for HIV, for lots of other things that are, again, blown right off the front pages today, but I think viable stories for tomorrow.
Are your clients already calling you or messaging you saying, hey, what's going on? What should I do?
Actually, I'm getting smiley faces and emojis, and this is great. And hey, what are we going to get today? What's on sale? So I'm getting very positive messages this morning, as tough as it is.
Well, that's because you've got a reputation as a dip buyer, and you don't want to lose that reputation. I hope you're right. I hope you buy the dip and it bounces right back up again, because if it doesn't, we've all got a problem, Keith Fitz. All right.
Yes, sir.
We'll be tuning in regularly, see what you got to say, and you'll be back with us real soon. Keith, thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Stuart.
Let me tell you again one more time.
Hi, it's Keith here. Thanks for checking out today's highlight clip. What'd you think? Did I make sense? Is there something you'd like to add? Make sure you leave a comment down below, and of course, click subscribe to keep up right here on YouTube, or sign up for the email newsletter at the link below. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram for my real-time thoughts on markets, analysis, and a whole lot more.